Is it visible to all?
Yes, Ankit, I can see your screen.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so let me share my PPT. Okay, fine. So, whenever we come across any point MQ, the first question comes in our mind that what is queue, first of all. Okay, so queue is a temporary storage area where we can send the messages for a temporary purpose and then again use it or consume it as and when needed. Okay, so we can say a queue is a temporary storage area used for inter-app communication, right? If we go into our scenario, like from MuleSoft point of view, okay, so we require some mechanism where we can send our message from Experience API to downstream APIs, right? So in asynchronous manner. So if we want to do in an asynchronous manner, we require some mechanism which can handle the messages and can process like slowly or like eventually as and when there is a chance. Okay, so the experience API will send the message to the queue and the process API will consume the same message from the queue in asynchronous manner. Okay, so if you if you notice like in our retail websites like maybe Amazon, so whenever you place an order, you immediately get the message that your order has been placed with an ID. Okay, but that order is not completely processed by that time, right? So it will send it uh, in some place where it will fetch the mapping IDs and then process in the backend. So in such scenarios we require some storage area where you can temporarily store the data and from where the downstream APIs can process them accordingly. Perfect. So we are good to know that what is queue and why we need it. Perfect. Now here we introduce AnyPoint MQ. So here itself is that AnyPoint MQ. That means that is being managed by the endpoint platform or MuleSoft guys, right? So the same messaging queues where we can send the messages and consume the message. And since we have allocated AnyPoint to it, it means it's a cloud messaging service that perform asynchronous messaging scenarios between applications. Perfect. So if it is AnyPoint MQ, that means it is definitely managed by the AnyPoint platform. So we will get full functionality of AnyPoint platform. Okay, so it provide the role-based access control. It provide client management, and even we have the connector for it to be used in our Mule apps. Okay, okay. So AnyPoint MQ support large payload. There is one default default size I can say like 10 MB, but that can be overcome. But but still we can say that AnyPoint MQ supports large payload. But yeah, officially up to 10 MB. If you want to do beyond that, then we have certain mechanism through which we can do that, right? Okay, perfect. So if we go down, we can we are saying that it provides the dead letter queue for undelivered messages. We will gonna understand what is DLQ definitely, but for now we have to understand yes, there is an one queue which can store undelivered messages. The messages which is not delivered due to some reason, maybe X Y Z reason, it is not able to process that message. So that message we want to secure that message. You don't want that message should be lost, get lost, right? So for such in such scenarios, DLQ is very useful. Perfect. Now it's only available for the cloud hosted application. Very important. Right now it is only available for the cloud hosted applications. But but there are certain way a mechanism we can even used on premise. But yes, it is there for the cloud hosted application only. It is not available for the API to be hosted on on-premise server. Perfect. Okay. So by default, Anypoint MQ is not included in the trial account. If you open your Anypoint platform, you will not able to see Anypoint MQ by default. You need a separate enterprise subscription to use Anypoint MQ. Okay, let's move ahead. Some features of Anypoint MQ. I already told that is multi-tenant. Why? So like we have different regions and the Anypoint MQ can be used for different region, different locations. Okay, it is cloud messaging service. You can send the message, you can consume those message, you can easily subscribe the messages. It is fully controlled by Anypoint platform. It can view we can view the current and past uses of the of our API's messages, API request, even including consume data. Okay, we can transfer messages from one API services to another. Okay, we even have the Anypoint MQ connector, which provides the publish subscribe messaging to the Mule apps using Anypoint MQ cloud service. So we can say that Anypoint MQ support a wide range of messaging use cases, which includes enterprise messaging pattern. It may be asynchronous communication between microservices. Perfect. So we are saying that it is not available by default on Anypoint platform. But yes, if we have the subscription, we can see that. So let's see. Is it really so? Just let me open my Anypoint platform. So since we have the licensed version, so I'm able to see the MQ in my list. But if it is a trial account, I will not able to see this component. Perfect. Okay, so let me tell you, like, let me walk you through the MQ first of all. So this is the Anypoint platform, and here we can see the MQ. Let me click on it. Okay, so once you click on the component, it will take you to the Anypoint MQ configurations. So here you can see that I have already selected certain regions, and there are, so this is my environment, and here are certain regions already available for you. You can switch as per your need and as per your use case. Okay, so what does that mean? So whenever you want to start with Anypoint MQ, definitely you require queues, and we are here to provide that queues to you. We also want to connect to those queues and how to communicate with them. Like it is on server, it is on cloud, and our Anypoint apps or our application needs to communicate to the queues. So we can do that with the help of client apps. We can create the client application and can have the authorization client ID and client secret for that particular region. For that particular region, we have the client and client secret to access all the queues created in those regions. Very important. You cannot use or access queues which are created in different region. Okay, so I repeat, first of all, we should have the license to use the Anypoint MQ available in the CloudHot platform. Once we have the license, we need to log into Anypoint platform where we can see MQ has an option, right? Perfect. Okay, so whenever you want to create a queue, first of all, you have to select the region, and you have to ensure, or it is always good practice to select the region which is closer to your server, or you can select any region, but it is always good if you go with the region close to your servers. Okay, so let's say I want to create the queues for this particular region. Okay, perfect. So I've selected that region, and I need to click on plus icon. When I click on the plus icon, I can see there are different ways of creating the queues. There are different queues available for us. Those are queue, FIFO, and exchange. So each one has its own features, own benefits, own characteristics. So let me tell you few of them. So queue. So queue is a storage area where messages are stored for processing. Okay, it is a storage area where messages are stored from where the application services can send and receive the messages. Ordering is not maintained in queue, and this is the only difference between queue and FIFO queue. It both look same, it work in similar fashion. The only difference is queue doesn't maintain ordering, but FIFO queue maintain the ordering. FIFO itself says first in, first out. We have already done different algorithm in our college days, right? Last in, last out, first in, last out, first in, first out. So yeah, it is first in, first out queue. It maintains the ordering. So FIFO queue is the normal queue where message can be stored similar to the queue. The only difference it is that it maintains the ordering. Perfect. What is exchange? So exchange is used for broadcasting the messages. So it is not a queue, but it can be used to broadcast the messages to different queue. What does that mean? That means different queues are bound to this exchange, and those queues which are bound to the exchange will get the message from the exchange pattern. Okay, don't you think it is similar to the JMS topic, similar to that? Yeah, but the only difference is that here there's a limited number of queues we can assign to the exchange, and only those queues will get the messages. Okay, so if any message is sent to the exchange, it will be forwarded to all the queues associated with the exchange. Like there is one exchange and there are multiple queues, q1, q3, and we want to bind q1 and q2 to it, we can do that, and that will be available to us for this exchange. And whenever and where we use this exchange, the messages will be stored in those bind queue. Perfect. Let's create some queues and see how it's look like. So let me click on queue. Okay, we have certain configuration, we have to place that. Perfect. So ID, we can provide the name to that queue. And let me, let's say demo. So demo is one of the queue I have created. Okay, it accept numbers. We can place combination of characters and digits, that will be a, but special character is not accepted. So just take care of it. So once we have the other options that I can see here is saying message TTL. So TTL, what does TTL means? TTL says time to live. Okay, it defines how long the message will remain in the queue before any point MQ expires that message and remove it from the queue, right? So by default it says 7 days, and we can go ahead to 14 days maximum. We can't go beyond that. Okay, it is not accepted. Only we can do it till 14 days. Okay, perfect. I think a number has changed. Let me make it 61st, 67, and let me do it again days, and now change it to 14. Perfect. Next option is default acknowledgement timeout. What does that mean? It says that how long a message remain unacknowledged before we return to the queue back. We will learn more about these acknowledgement modes which are there in the operations when we perform the demo. Okay, so right now you need to understand that, okay, this is the timeout, this is time which says that how long the message will remain and acknowledge before being returned to the queue. And if we are using it in our application, then it will be override by the application data that we place for acknowledgement timeout. Okay, perfect. So even we can do the encryption, we can assign uh, delay. For some time we can assign dead letter queue to it. What is dead letter queue? Definitely uh, have an idea right now, because I just mentioned that it is basically used for undelivered messages, right? So we'll understand more after some time. But yeah, you can assign that letter queue to it, and by assigning that letter queue, that queue will become the part of this parent queue. Perfect. Okay, let's say if I created, okay, I have created a queue. Now here you can see that for that queue you can easily see how many messages or request has been come, how many messages are there. Let's say for 7 days, how many messages are there, you can see that data over here. So you can't have insights and monitoring for this API, but yeah, Anypoint has provided this page where you can see the API request for that particular duration. Okay, now I can see there two columns like in queue and in flight. What is the difference between these two? So in queue, like message will silently remain silently resides in the queue without creating any dance, right? But once it is in the in-flight status, what does that mean? That the processing has already started. That message is waiting for its turn to get processed, and it is in the processing mode, but it is waiting for its consuming, for its processing. And once it is again came back to queue, that means it is silently sitting in the queue. Perfect. We have two more option: purge the messages. Yes, you can even purge the messages. If you want to do, you can do that. And even you can delete this complete queue altogether. Perfect.
So,
Let me open.
so Ankit, can we ask people to like if they have any questions?
Yeah, definitely. So guys, do you have any questions at this point of time? You can place it in the chat. Okay, please enable my mic to ask a question if possible. You can even like uh ping your question in the chat. And Joy, regarding message size, just to add one point, if the payload contains any format, this endpoint to convert it in a string before being sending, which increase the payload size. Right, right, Joy, you are right. That's correct point. So anyone has any other queries, any doubt? Should we move ahead? No, it will purge. Gopa, it will purge the messages, even if it in the in-flight mode. Can we send the file to the queue? Yeah, you can send a, so, no, you can't send the file. Like if you want to say images or documents like this, no, you can't do that. You have to convert it in base 64 format, and then you can send it to the queue.
Ankit, we can move forward, and if anyone has question, you can place in the chat.
Right. So I like to answer one more question. Payload size is up to 10 MB per message, right? Yes, the maximum size is 10 MB, but there are way of mechanism through which you can increase it. Like you can do it, and like if a data is, if a payload size is more than 10 MB, even you can send the message to the queue. But officially, default size is 10 MB. What is the default size we get for MQ? It's 10 MB. Harsh. Okay, let me go ahead because we have lots to cover, and definitely I come back here and check if any further questions are there. I try to answer those. Okay, let me go back. Perfect. Let me open the queue. Now, there are some more features we can see, like what are the configuration we have done. We can see over here and even change according to our need. Let's say one by one fine day you have assigned the dead letter queue, but later you realize there's no need to add a dead letter queue for this queue. So you can come here and then switch it off. Okay, so you can change the settings as and when required. Perfect. So once the message is sent to the queue, is there any way or mechanism through which we can see or visualize the what message is there in the queue? Yes, you can do that. There's option message browser. You can click on message browser and you can up to 50 messages can be fetch for the queue. Remember, 50 messages can be fetch in case of queue, but in case of FIFO queue, we can fetch up to 10 messages. Okay, perfect. So we don't have any messages. Definitely, we will not get any message. So let me reduce the time so that we can quickly show. So right now there are no messages, so it will not fetch any message to you. Perfect. There's one more option, message sender. So even we can send the messages directly from the Anypoint platform. Yes, we can do that. So here different options are available. Which type of message you want to send? So let's say I want to send JSON, and let me copy it, and even I can send it. So I'm just sending one message to the queue. And if I go back, now I can see there is one message in the queue, but I can't see right now. Yeah, now. So one represent there's one message in the queue. And now if you want to check the message, so you have to go again to the message browser and then try to fetch that message. And yes, you can see now. This is a payload that we have sent across and the time when it is created and a unique ID. Very important. This is a unique ID which is assigned to this message. So each message will have its own ID, own unique ID. Okay, perfect. So we are good at this point of time. We have understood what are queues. We know what are different kind of queues are there. Queue, exchange, and FIFO, and another queue, DLQ, which is similar to queue. The only thing is that the DLQ is assigned to the queue, or you can say DLQ is child to the parent queue. Okay, and we also know that how we can communicate to these queues with the help of client apps. Okay, and one more thing, what are different ways of what are different configuration of queue? Yes, the message TTL, assigning dead letter queue. Even we can browse the messages and even we can send the messages on the go. Okay, let me show you client apps as well. So when you click on client apps and so I just created one application. Even you can try. You can just click on plus icon and you can provide any name and that will create and provide you client ID and client secret. So this client ID and client secret is the is your authorization to connect to the queues which are there, which are available in this particular region. All the queues which are available in this particular region. So what does that mean? Whenever you want to start with the demo or in the with the application mule application, we require these details. We require the location URL where we want to connect. We require the queue name through which we want to access the data, and to do all of these things we require the authentication authorization that can be done with the help of client ID and client secret. Okay, perfect. So to access the queue we need to create the client apps which will provide us the unique client ID and client password for all those newly created queues, and we require these details to authenticate our mule services. Great. Okay, so guys, any question till this point of time? Anyone has any question, any query?
We do have questions. So
Okay. Can we increase the number of? number from 50 to 100? No, we can't do that. What is the use case of endpoint MQ exchange queue? Exchange, what is use case of endpoint MQ exchange? So, like to broadcast the messages. Let's say you can understand with the in a way like we have the OTT platform, right? So here what we can see like once they broadcast the serial or web series on that OTT, and if you have the subscription to that particular, or you have that particular subscription, you can able to see that web series, right? So similarly, like exchange work, it will send the messages to different queues, and the applications which are consuming or using those queues will able to fetch or get the messages from those queues. Can DLQ be a FIFO queue? Yes. Oh, sorry, DLQ cannot be a FIFO. If you want to make the FIFO DLQ, then the queue which you are selecting should be DLQ. So this is the characteristic of DLQ. Like it cannot be like the parent queue is normal queue, standard queue, and your DLQ is FIFO. No, it it has to be both same, either both standard or both FIFO. Can we rate MQ with scheduler? Like instead of scheduler type cases, can we move the MQ? I'm not sure whether my question makes sense. Santosh, I'm not clear what you want exactly. Can you relate MQ with scheduler? Okay, yeah. So yes, we can do that. There are certain operations through which we can make it as a scheduler. Okay, so even polling can be performed. Okay, so there are options where we can do the prefetch and where we can make the polling. Okay, but not like every uh, like even we can do one by one message processing at a time or multiple message processing. Okay, can we apply message filters? Yes, that you have to do in your mule application, not in the platform. Okay, let's move ahead. Okay, so we already knows different type of queues. Normal queues, yes, we can your application can publish the message to the queue, and whoever is the subscriber can subscribe the message from that queue. FIFO queue, yes, first in first out. Exchange, yes, you can publish the message to the exchange, and all the queues which are assigned to it will have that messages, and all the application or the consumer who is assigned to that queue will able to get that messages or will get the messages. Perfect. We are good to go now. Okay. What are different MQ operations? So now we are going to understand different MQ operations supported. So for that, let me go to the Mule application for you. So let me open the Mule application. Okay. I have already told you by default, Anypo MD is not available. You have to search into the exchange and download it. And once you download it, that you can see the Anypoint MQ in your palette, and these are the operations that we have. Very important point, it is freely available. Okay, so even if you don't have the license, it is free available, but you can't make or access the services if you can't have the license. Okay, so definitely to use the Anypoint MQ you need license, but this is freely available. Okay, great. So these are the different operations that we have for Anypoint MQ: act, consume, nag, publish, and subscriber. So let's understand some basic of these operations first before going deep. Okay, okay, let's start with the publish. Publish, very simple operation and very useful as well. It is just used to publish the message to the queue. We have seen this operation, right? Even through message sender, we can publish the message to the queue. The same operation can be done through Mule application with the help of publish operation, which says that to publish the message to the queue. Okay, perfect. So the publish operation basically enables you to create new endpoint MQ messages and send it to the specified destination. And it can be queue, it can be FIFO queue, or it can be message exchange. So you can publish the message to any one of them. Perfect. Now, once you have published the message, then what next? Definitely, there must be someone who will consume the message, right? Or subscribe the messages. So we have two options: either consume the message or subscribe the message. Let's understand what is subscribe. Subscribe means to a, a operation which will gonna subscribe to the message and listen for the receiving messages, right? It will always continuously listen to the messages. It will always do a knocking on the queue and check, okay, is there any message? Can I use that message? Yeah, it is there. It will take it. On the other hand, consumer, okay, so on the other hand, consumer is used to consume the message from the queue, or someone explicitly has to told to that operation, hey guys, please go there and consume that message. So this is the only major difference between these two, subscriber and consumer. That subscriber is continuously listening to the messages, and consumer is explicitly uh, forced to check the messages. So what does that mean? That means subscriber can be used as a source, okay, and consumer has to be in the process section because cannot be used as a source, right? So just some more feature before going deep. So subscribe, what is different between both consumer and subscriber? That is that clear? So subscriber can be used in the source section. It cannot be used in the process section because it is continuously listening to the messages. And consumer, a person has to explicitly inform the consumer with maybe with the help of HTTP, one of the way, so that it will consume the messages. Okay, perfect. Now there's no two other options are there, ACK and NAC. What does this ACK and NAC perform? So we have consumed the message and we have subscribed the message. What will happen to that message now? That message will be used in the Mule application, and either that message will be processed successfully for what purpose we have used that message, or due to some XYZ reason, due to the external service down, failure, any error, it may uh, like the message will not get processed. Okay, so let's say if the message gets successfully consumed, then there is no issue, there is no problem, right? Because the message for which purpose we have used that message is successfully done, then it's great. But it may a situation arise where the problem occur, and due to some XYZ reason the message is not able to consume. In that case, message will get lost. It got lost, definitely it will be not available anywhere, right? So how this is informed back to the queue with the help of ACK and NAC. So at that point of time, these two operations are very useful. ACK, acknowledgement, and NAC, negative acknowledgement. Okay, ACK will send the acknowledgement to the queue about the successful consumption of the message. Okay, just pay attention. It will send the acknowledgement to the queue that the message is successfully consumed, so that the service will delete the message from the in-flight status, right? In-flight status, I already told you, when when the message is there for processing, the message will be in the in-flight mode. Okay, so the service, when we send the ACK to the service will delete the message from the in-flight mode, in-flight status. Perfect. Then what NAC will do? NAT will send negative acknowledgement to the queue that will state that the message is not consumed because of XYZ reason. Okay, so what it will do, it will change the status of the message from in flight to in queue to be consumed again by the another consumer or by the available consumer. Perfect. So now because of by using these two operations, we will ensure definitely that message will not lost. It will be there. If it is successfully consumed, then yes, we will send the ACK and we will inform that queue, yeah, message is consumed. You can delete the message from the queue. And yes, message is not consumed because of some failure to the external system or by XYZ reason. So please send the message back to the queue so that next time it will again consume it. Perfect. So guys, any question before we move ahead? Okay, yes, that's correct. Guys, any other question? We all good? Perfect. Let's move ahead. Okay, neck and egg will work in manual mode. Right, that's correct. It will work only in the manual mode. But like automatic, so every case we have the acknowledgement mode available and the time and an acknowledgement timeout, right? So that can be through which we can inform the queue whether it is a neck or egg. Subscriber can only be placed on source section. Yes, it cannot be placed in the process section. It has to be placed in source section only. If egg or neck fails, then what happens to the message in the flight mode? If egg or neck, okay, so egg or neck can't be fail. Like it will, what we are sending, we are just sending one ID to the egg or neck. Okay, so even in case these two operation fail, which can't be a situation, then default timeout that we have placed in the queue while configuring the queue will be used, and within that timeout, we will understood, okay, the message will has to be back, need to be delivered back to the queue or need to be deleted. Okay, perfect. So do you have any other questions? No? Great. So let's move ahead. So let me go to the PPT first and then we'll come back to demo. Let me see if we missed out anything. uh where it is. Yeah. So endpoint M2 connector provide 5 operations. Publish, to publish the message to the queue. Subscriber, to subscribe to the queue and listen for the receiving messages. Perfect. Consumer, to consume a message from the queue. Okay. ACK, to send the acknowledgement to the queue about the successful consumption of the message and delete the message from in-flight status. Yes. And NAC, to send the negative acknowledgement to the queue stating the consumed message is not processed successfully. Great. Let's go ahead. Okay. So we have these operations. We already seen those operations. Let me move ahead. Okay. We have seen this MP operation we have done. Okay, so we'll come back here later. Let's move ahead with small demo to understand how we can connect our application to the endpoint platform. Okay, so let me go to the okay. Okay, so first of all, we need these operations in our palette. So we have already placed all these operations as per our need. Okay, now we need to communicate to the services. Okay, so for that, what we required client ID and secret and the location URL through which we need to communicate all the or which through which we need to access the messages from the queues. Okay, so for that, we have to set up the configuration which says, okay, this is your URL. So the same URL I have used. So let me show you the URL. So I have already created the URL for our demo purpose. So let me open that. Yeah. So this is the URL we are using, and this is the client ID and client secret, which I have already created. Okay. So I'm using that. Let me test the connection first. Okay. So it should be successful. If it is, then we can move ahead. Okay. It is taking some time, little bit more time. Okay, yes. So we are connected to the MQ, and we can use the queues and messages which are placed over there. Perfect. Let me open one of the flow. So yeah. So now we are gonna publish the message to the queue, which is there in the AnyPoint platform through our Mule application. Okay. So what we are gonna do now, we will assuming, like, let's say they are different, their experience API is available, or okay, yeah. So there is one of the experience API. Consider it the Mule application, in which we are sending the order detail to the queue. Okay, and the and the process API will be there, which will gonna consume the messages from this published queue. Okay, okay, fine. So here what we are doing, like, we are through external system, through external client, we can say we are just publishing the messages. So whatever the message coming, we are sending it to the queue. Okay, and we have just taken the publish operation, and this publish operation we have provided the destination, so where the message should be placed. So message need to be placed in published queue. Okay, let me see where is the published queue. Yes, here it is. So right now publish queue has one message. Let me purge the message. Okay, so now there is no message available in publish queue. Yeah. Okay, so we will gonna send the message from our Mule application onto the queue, publish queue. Okay, on AnyPoint platform. So only configuration is required is the connector configuration, which we have already done and we are utilizing it. Let me show you again. This is the connection that we have already set up. Okay, so we are just using that connection, and we are just sending the payload. So this payload, or you can see the message, is going to send, and we are sending this message through postman. Okay, so I'm just sending input message for publish queue. Okay, so I'm going to send this message to this queue through Mule app. So it is already started. Let me click on send. Okay, let me start the application. Let me save it one more time. So this message will be there in the AnyPoint MQ queue in some couple of seconds. Okay, so let me run it again. I have sent the message. It has came to a Mule app, and this is the payload. This is the message we are gonna sending to the queue, and now it is published. So now we verified whether it is there or not. So let me open the queue again, and yeah. So now the message is there. Okay, so message is there in the queue, and it is silently sitting in queue status. Right now there is no one who is consuming the messages, right? So it is silently sitting in the in queue status. Perfect. Let me complete that. Okay, and let me send one more message quickly. Sending, and this time just taking forward. Yeah, and now let's check. There should be two messages now. Yeah. So there are two messages. Can we see those messages? Yes, we can. So just open the queue, click on message browse and get the messages. Yes, I'm able to see the messages. Both the messages I'm able to see there. And see the unique IDs assigned to each message. Okay, perfect. Can we delete those messages? Yes, you can. Just purge the messages. Even it is in flight mode, someone has asked this question. So yes, you can purge the message. So I'm just purging the message. Okay. So if you noticed, yeah, the message is no longer exist. Right? Perfect. Let me send one more message again. And let me verify it again on the platform. Yeah, now the message is there in the in queue status. Okay, perfect. So let me stop this again. So we have published the message to the queue. So once we have published the message, we want to subscribe the message. We want to listen that message, right? So that's why we have used the subscribe operation. As I told you, subscriber needs to be in the source section only. It cannot be in the process section. This is what the functionality of subscriber is. It is continuously listening to the messages, right? So let me open it. Let me start it in the meantime. So what configuration we have placed? Just the connector configuration, and we have informed from where we need to subscribe the messages, and it is going to subscribe from publish queue. So we have certain other options here. It says that subscriber type, which type of subscriber it is, what is the acknowledgement mode, okay, acknowledgement timeout and unit. So these are two more functions these are two more functions we need to understand. Okay, before doing that, I'm taking the default functionality, and let's see whether the message has been consumed, subscribed or not. So if you see in the console, you can see that message is subscribed and printed. And if I check the queue now, there should not be any message. Yeah, see, zero messages. Okay, zero message. Okay, let understand some basic function over here first. Okay, then it will make more sense. Okay, so subscriber type. If you can see, there are two types of subscriber are there. By default, it is prefetch, and one more is polling. Okay, so what is different? So prefetch, basically prefetch, by default it prefetch the 30 messages as per this configuration, and these messages, okay, let's say if I make it 2, 3, 4, but that by default is 30. So these 30 messages, if say let's say they are in the queue, there are 100 messages. Out of 100 messages, 30 messages will be there in the in-flight mode. Okay, because we have mentioned over here is 30 message prefetch 30 messages. So it will fetch 30 messages from the publish queue and place it in the in-flight mode. Okay, sorry. Even if multiple messages are fetched at a time, okay, but it will still process one message at a time. Very important. So it doesn't mean that you have fetched the 30 messages, so 30 instances has been created and all are running parallelly. No, it will process the message one at a time, but yes, it is doing that processing for 30 messages at a time. Okay, and once the 30 messages consumed, the next 30 will be picked up from the queue. Perfect. So what happened in case of polling? Okay, so prefetch it will fetch, polling it will poll the queue in particular duration. Okay, so polling it will poll, okay, after every 1 seconds or after every 1 minute, it will poll the, it will knock the queue, and fetch size by place, let's say 2. So it will poll and fetch the 2 messages after every, let's say 2 minutes. So after every 2 minutes, it will go to the queue and fetch two messages from the queue, right? So this is the major difference between polling and prefetch. So polling can be can fetch the message from MQ at the scheduled time. Subscriber checks for the new message in the queue at the fixed time, and whatever the fetch size you have mentioned in this configuration, based on that it will poll the messages from MQ. Okay, perfect. So polling subtitle, let me do it prefetch again. Now next is acknowledgement mode. Okay, very important. So let's try to understand. By default is auto, and we have two more modes. So in total there are three modes: auto mode, immediate mode, and manual mode. Auto, immediate, and manual. Okay, what is the difference between these three mode? Okay, so immediate means acknowledge the messages as soon as they consumed. It does not wait for completion the process. Like as soon as this publish queue consume the messages, it will send the acknowledgement, and the queue and the message will be deleted from the queue. Immediate. So it is immediate. As soon as the message is consumed by this queue, this queue, it will delete it from the queue. Okay, perfect. Okay, first let's understand automatic. Auto means like acknowledge the messages automatically only if the flow execution finished successfully. Like if the flow finished the execution successfully, it will send the acknowledgement and message deleted from the queue. If the flow encounter any problem, any issue, and we have propagated the error back to the listener, that means we are saying that there is exception. In that case, negative acknowledgement will be sent to the queue. Okay, and message will be re-delivered in queue, from in flight mode to in queue. Okay, so it is auto means agar, like if the flow execution completes, it will message will be deleted. If the flow execution is not complete or there is an exception we are sending, it will place the message back to the queue. What happened in the manual, you are manually inform the queue or service that yes it is acknowledgement or yes it is negative acknowledgement. So ACK and NAG operation is being used with when we are using the manual mode, in which we are sending manually ACK to the queue and NAC to the queue as per our need and requirement. So as per our requirement, uh, we will configure the flow in such a way, like whenever we require we will send the ACK, and whenever we require we will send the NAC. But it can be done when we are placing the manual mode. Okay, so in manual mode, ACK and NAC has to be send the messages back to the queue. And what is sent back is the token ID. So there is a ID which is coming whenever we consume the message. A token ID will be created, and that token ID will be sending back with the ACK and NAC. If ACK take that token ID, it will inform that message is consumed successfully. And if NAC take that token ID back to the queue, it will inform the service that it is negative acknowledgement and you have to send the message back to the queue. Okay, so very important feature, very important function these are. Okay, and we have to use these functions as per our need and requirement, or you can say as per the project need and requirement, right? Perfect. So we are just using subscribe by default functionality as of now, and we have saw how it is work. So let me stop it this flow as well, and let me open another flow. So now guys, you have to tell me what will happen in this case. Okay, because I have told you all the feature of the subscriber, what will be there. Okay, so I just told you again. Right now this is uh, polling, we are doing the polling, and it is published queue. Okay, the message will be consumed from this published queue, and it is fits frequency, so no issue, and mode is auto. Okay, let me save this, and here I have explicitly raised an error. Okay, so just think whatever I just told to you. I Now the execution, itself the flow itself is sending error, so it will propagate the error, right? It will propagate the error. So what will gonna be happen with that message queue? Guys, you can place your either you can tell in the chat whether it will be the message will deleted from the queue or not. Right, it will send neck, so it will delete the message from the queue, right? Will be deleted, yes, perfectly. So it will delete the message from the queue. So definitely it will, whenever you raise the error, that information will be so that error will be moved back to subscriber, and okay, it will send the neck to the queue, and neck will decide, okay, we have to delete the message from the queue. So let me see, do you have any message over there? Publish you, no message. So let me send the message from directly from the message sender option that we have on AnyPoint platform. So this way also you can easily consume the message. So you need to send the message. Once you send, it will be there, it will be consumed. Is it stopped state? Oh, it is stopped state. Let me start it again. That is started. Yeah. So we have get the message. Let me check the queue first. How many messages are there? So see, there are two messages, and both the messages are in flight status. Why? Why? Because you already mentioned at least 10 messages can be in the in-flight status. We already informed the queue that please fetch 10 messages and place it in the in-flight status. So that's why 10 messages are in in-flight status. So out of them, two are in the in-flight status as of now. And if it has already raised the error, so raise the error, it's sent back. Second message has came, raise the error, move back. So what is happening, guys? Can you tell me? So can you see any message over here now? No. So all those messages deleted successfully. Okay. Okay. Let me stop it. Stop this flow again. So we have understood the use of subscriber. We have understood the use of publisher, and even I have created one flow that will send the negative acknowledgement to the queue. So like I subscribe the message, but I intentionally sending the neck, and this will delete the message. Okay, so intentionally, so it is not, the flow is not failed. Okay, there is no failure in this flow, but this is my requirement that I need to send the negative acknowledgement to inform the queue, so please place the message back to the queue. So I'm sending the negative acknowledgement. So that's why I've used the manual mode over here to send the negative acknowledgement. Okay. Okay, let me, I'm not showing this operation, this flow. I just show you the consume operation. Now, consume has to be placed in the process section. As I told you, consume, it has to consume the message. So it has to be placed in the process section. So let me add it. So what it is what happening now, just see, I just consume the I just calling this consume operation from the external source. Okay, once the consume the message, okay, it will the message will came to the flow, and I have explicitly created a dummy request, so it will fail. And once it is failed, it will not go to the egg, right? It will not went, it will go to the error handling section, and it will send the neck, right? So again, let me open this. So only configuration that we are doing over here is the name of the queue, and since we are using the egg and neck manually, that's why we have make use of the acknowledgement mode manual in order to send the acknowledgement, positive acknowledgement and negative acknowledgement. Okay, let's verify this. Okay, so which queue it is using? Publish queue. Okay, so let me check the queue. There is no message to the queue, so let me send the message to the queue. Let me save this and go back. Yeah, there is one message in the queue now. So guys, just notice this time the message is in queue status, it is not in flight status, right? Because there is no operation which is listening to it. The consumer, through consumer, we are explicitly going to tell the consumer operation, please go and get the message, right? So that's why it is not there in the in-flight. No one is looking for this message as of now. We will gonna tell explicitly through the postman external service to publish to consume that message. Okay, so let me go back. Uh, NAC message. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let me send it now. Is it stop? Okay, let me start it. Okay, it is getting started now. Yeah, so let me send the message. Okay, so it has went to the consume operation. So what message we have? So we are sending sample message, but by operation is consume, so it will consume the message from the queue, right? So it will ignore this message. Let's see. Yeah, so it has consumed the message from the queue, right? This is what we have sent across. Okay, now I am just making a dummy request that will failed. It has failed, so it is went to the error handy section, and it will send the neck to the queue. Okay, and neck we are just sending the token id. So which attribute we are sending? If you go to the attribute, there is a act token. So this token we are sending to the with the neck operation. Let me show you the neck. We are just sending the token id. So with the neck we are informed the services that this message needs to be sent back to the queue since it is not consumed successfully, right? So if I go back, and now if I send the message, it will. Okay, before that I just want to show you one more thing. So it is send, and yes, so it is there in the queue. It is there, still there in the queue. If I again send and just resume it, It is still there in the queue. Yes, it is still there in the queue. Negative acknowledgement explicit. Right. So now there is one problem. Like this message is not delivered because of this reason, since the external ID is not working or external application is not working. It is failing somehow. And that message again always be there in the queue. And there is no use to this message, because if there is always an error, then why this message should be there in the queue? There may be problem with the message content, there may be problem with the external system, right? It could be anything. But every time running this message again and again and it is failing doesn't make sense, right? So now what is the good way, or what we can use? Now we can use dead letter queue, DLQ, right? We can use DLQ so that this message can be moved to the dead letter queue, DLQ, for, or that's why the name says undeliver queue. All the undelivered messages will be there in the dead letter queue. So what we'll do, I just go to publish queue and assign one dead letter queue, or one queue which will act as dead letter queue. So I've created one queue which is with the name DLQ, and this will become child to this parent queue, and it will act like a dead letter queue. So let me save this. Okay, and also there is an option, delivery attempts before reroute. Okay, so when it will route it to this queue, when after this number of times. So I'm just making it 2 by default. So normally we use 2. Like this doesn't make sense to make uh more hitting the end system or send the message again to the flow when we are know that it is failing because of XYZ reason, right? So we will try 2 times. Even if it is not processed, then that message will be sent back to the DLQ. And this is what the flowchart represent in our PPT. Let me open the PPT now. Let me open the PPT now. Yeah. So this is what the DLQ flowchart also represent. What I just told you, the same way it will work. So get the message from the queue. So our flow will get the message from the queue, from the parent queue. You can consider it as a parent queue. Okay. And delivery acknowledgement. We will send the acknowledgement whether it is egg or neck. If it is egg, that means the message is consumed. Then perfect. Message consumed. The next message will wait for the next consumer. Perfect. But if it is neck, then message is not delivered because of XYZ reason. The message will return to the queue. And now the service will check whether we have defined any redelivery policy, or is there any DLQ assigned to it. Yes, it is assigned. Okay, so is there any redelivery policy we have defined? Yes, we have defined. Let's say we have not defined, that means there is no attempt to be done. Just message will be just sit back in the queue status and wait for the next consumer. But we have the redelivery policy enabled, and we have already informed, okay, there should be 2 redelivery attempts. So in that case, it will again send the information back. Okay, and it will continue to do that unless it will check for the maximum delivery attempt. So is the delivery consumed? Yes, the delivery consumed. If the delivery consumed, then it will send the message to the dead letter queue. If it is not, or if the message is successful this time, then it will wait for the next message to be consumed. Otherwise, if all these condition fails, the message will be sent back to the dead letter queue. Okay, and from this dead letter queue we can create, now this is a separate story altogether, but yeah. So dead letter queue now is a queue which contains undelivered messages. Okay, just listen carefully. So these undelivered messages could be because of any reason. There may be a content problem, maybe the payload which is there in the message is not correct, there may be some data issue with that messages. Okay, so either the customer support team or uh, MuleSoft support team should check the messages from the dead letter queue and check what is problem with that queue. Or there is another way, either we can create another flow which will fetch all these messages and send to the parent queue, through which it can be processed in different way by checking, by doing certain validations. And after correcting those issues, we can, means after correcting the ETL, we after performing the ETL, extraction, transformation, loading, we can send back to that message to the parent queue, the main queue, so for further processing. Or there could be another scenario in which we can send these messages in the mail to the business to verify ki, is there any problem with that content. So this is all to a different story where we can make use of those dead letter queue to check the data from the dead letter queue, all the messages from the dead letter queue, right? Perfect. So is there any problem? Is there any concern or any question, any queries for DLQ before we move ahead? Hmm, retry interval time. Hello. Retry interval time. I'm not clear, Gopal. What do you mean by retry interval time? So yes, in the subscriber we have different uh, like time through which we can say after this particular time you, either it is neck or ack. Are you asking that? Or retry interval time? You mean the redelivery attempt? So there is no time for the redelivery. So as soon as the message come back to the queue, it will check whether the attempt has been done. If it is not, it is again sent back for further processing to the mule application. There is no time for retry. Yes. Yeah. Any other question, guys? Or DLQ is clear? What happened when we have pick up a message from MQ, but because of some issue, the API went down? How that case be handled? Yes, that is what I'm saying. Like API itself is down, then definitely that message will be lost because APIs haven't worked. So in that case, you have to explicitly maintain the database. Maybe like in our case, I can suggest you can create a separate Dynamo configuration where we can where you can map the all the messages which has been picked up from the queue, and just providing one scenario which can be used. So you can maintain all the messages where that you are consuming from the queue and place it in a separate database. Okay, and once the process is done from that queue, you can update the status in the database with the information, okay, that message has been consumed successfully. So whatever the message is not consumed or the status is not updated, those messages has been lost because of XYZ reason, and we can use those messages again to reprocess. You can use the circuit breaker to handle this. Circuit breaker, definitely I want to like this is another topic that I have in my PPT. So circuit breaker definitely is one of the best way to handle the scenarios where we can ensure that the message will not get lost anywhere. Okay, either it will complete the delivery of the messages, it will complete the delivery of the message by using circuit breaker. Okay, I have not that much of time. That's why I just thinking to keep that topic in a separate session because we have very less time now. So yeah, definitely. But circuit breaker is one of the good pattern through which we can ensure that message will be retry and reprocess, and it will send to its destination. Okay. So it should be returned to the queue after acknowledgement timeout is passed. Yes, definitely. So in the subscriber or in the consumer where we have maintained the acknowledgement timeout, it will wait for that timeout. If it is elapsed, it will send back to the queue. Can we implement PubSub model using MQ? Multiple subscriber. Can we implement PubSub model? Yes, we are using PubSub model only, right? So what do you mean by multiple subscriber? I'm not clear. Can you kindly scroll up to my question? Okay. Uh, Santosh, can you please again if no error raised? Can we relate MQ? Oh, this we have already done, right? Can you place the question again, Santosh? Okay, has in manual, if we use NAC, it is removing the message from the flight and move to the queue. So in auto mode, if we raise error, it should perform same thing, right? Why the message is completely deleted from the queue and flight? So auto mode says that like if it means in the auto mode, if the message is consumed, like if the flow is successfully uh, like the flow execution is successful, in that case the message will be deleted. But if the flow execution is not successful and we are sending the exception back to the subscriber, then it will say okay, consider it as a negative acknowledgement. In that case the message is sent back to EQ. So as in manual, if we use the neck, it remove the message from the flight and move to the queue. Yes. So in the auto mode, if we raise the error, it should perform same thing, right? Right. So it is happening. It is happening in the auto mode. It is sending back to the queue. Actually, by that time there is a dead letter queue assigned. So after two reattempt, it will send back to the dead letter queue. That's why you're not able to see that message in the queue again. That's the only reason. But it will work in a similar fashion. What message listen to the multiple subscriber like topic? Exchange can be used for that case. Exchange is work similar to the uh, like broadcasting, in which we are sending a message to the multiple queue, and since there are limited number of queues assigned to it, so through which you can subscribe the messages. Okay, I think we are good. So if you're all good with this topic, I have certain questions for you, and we just try to cover those uh, for now. So let me close this and let me stop this for now and let you open the error handling mechanism. Okay, so I will ask you like I will ask you certain questions and you have to tell me what will happen in this scenario. Okay, so now you clear about how the egg is sent, neck is sent, how the error, how the messages goes back to the queue when it is not going back to the queue. Okay, so all these scenarios are clear in your mind. Okay, let's get some hands dirty and let's check is it really happening what we have learned or not. Okay, so let's start from, let me check if it is open. Yeah, it is stop. Let me click on start and what I do, let it start in the May. Okay, let me quickly, and I'm just thinking to place it over here for now. Okay, and let me remove this. Okay, and maybe just to ensure that there should not be any error, let me save this. Okay, and which queue it is. This is normal queue. Okay, so let me go to the queue, normal queue. Okay, so normal queue, we have one dead letter queue assigned to it. So guys, remember the configuration. Okay, so we have one dead letter queue assigned to the normal queue, and this is there are two reattempts for it. So after two reattempt, the message will be sent back to the DL queue. Okay, just remember, and the normal queue is the parent queue. Okay, let me check. Do we have any messages in the normal queue right now? No, there are no messages as of now. Perfect. So let me add here, or even I just thinking. Okay, chalo, no issues. Uh, okay, and all good. So let me send one message, normal queue. So you tell me guys what will happen in this scenario. So here in this scenario, I'm just subscribing the message from the normal queue, and this is the dummy request that will gonna fail. Okay, so what will happen? How many messages are there? How many messages are there in normal queue and DL queue? So before running that, I just want the answer. Can you please check, provide your answer in the chat? So how many messages will be there in MQ, in parent queue and in DL queue? Two attempts, then DL queue. Okay, one message in MQ. MQ means like you have to inform, explicitly mention that parent queue or DL queue. Okay, DLQ, one message, two attempts. So one message in MQ or DLQ, Gopal, please mention that. Normal 0, DLQ 1. Okay, no message in queue. Which queue? Normal queue or DLQ? No message in normal queue. Okay, and in DLQ, how many messages are there? DLQ 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so multiple answers I am getting. So okay, let's check in action. Okay. Okay, so this is the normal queue. Let me send the message directly from here, and let me son. Let me copy this and let me send it. Okay, it's a normal queue, and let me open the application. So this has came first time. It has got the error. It has came again second time. It has got the error. So once it's got the error, the message is sent back to the queue. Okay, and this time it has came two times. So it has checked for the redelivery attempts. It has exhausted those attempts now. Yes, it has exhausted. So it will send the message to DLQ. So what does that mean? There should be no message in parent queue now and one message in DLQ. Let's see. So let me go back, and this is my parent queue. And in parent queue, yeah, in parent queue there are zero messages are there, and which DL2 assigned to it? Dead letter queue. Okay, so in dead letter queue, I can see. Okay, there are already more messages are there. Let me purge that, otherwise it's not clear. So I purge the messages. Yeah, and let me send it again from normal queue. Quickly send it, and this time just what first time error, second time error, and not come back. So zero message in MQ, zero message in normal queue, and one message in dead letter queue. One message in dead letter queue. Yeah. So what? What you understood? So there should not be no message because it first time it has sent back to the normal queue. Then it check if there is any deadline to assign. Yes, it is assigned. It check the attempt delivery is there. Yes, it is there. So it will try to process again that message. Second time it hasn't came back. Check for the if we exhausted the delivery attempt. Yes, it is exhausted. So it is send that one message to the queue. So there will always be one message. There is no multiple messages. There will only always be one message in the queue. So yes, I think Gopal is correct. One message in DLQ after two attempt. Rajesh is also correct. Okay, perfect. So two message in DLQ? No, there should be only one message in DLQ. So even after, let's say I have make five reattempt. So even after five reattempt, there should only always be one message. Okay, okay, perfect. Let's go ahead. Okay, let's say if now this time if I use error propagate. Okay, and so I just place the logger here. What do you think? What will gonna happen now? Okay, what will happen now? How many messages are there in normal queue and how many messages are there in dead darker queue? So I just placed the on error propagate in the error handling section. So now guys tell me, what do you think? How many messages are there in the normal queue and how many messages are there in dead letter queue? Same like earlier, normal queue 0, dead letter queue 1. One message is normal queue, 0 normal, 1 DLQ. 0 normal, 1 DLQ. Yes. So that's correct because mule 4 is work like we are sending again the same propagate error propagation to the flow to the subscriber and inform the subscriber that this is the negative acknowledgement, right? So if you want to see in action, so just send me the message quickly. So let me just duplicate this so it will be easy, and let me open the normal queue. I send it now. The same thing will happen. It will come back. First time error. It will propagate the error. Again come back. Second time error. It will propagate the error and it will send it to the dead letter queue. So if you see now, dead letter queue, we have oh, let me go back. Two messages, right? Because for last time we have processed without honor propagate and this time with honor propagate, right? So a previous message and this message, so that's why we can see two messages in dead letter queue. So let me purge this time. Okay, okay, now guys, what will happen? Let me see it with 0 now. Yeah, it is 0. What will happen if this honor propagate is replaced with on error continue? What will happen this time? Okay, so how many messages are there in normal queue and DLQ? Zero in both scenario. Okay. Zero in both queues. Okay. Normal 0, DLQ 1. Zero in both queue. 1 in DLQ. Will be 0 in normal and DLQ. Okay. There will be no difference. No, there will definitely be a difference. Durga, definitely difference will be there since we are using different error handling scenario. Okay. Okay. Normal queue 1, DLQ 0. Okay. Let's see in action. So let me send normal queue. Sorry, okay, I have already opened that in a different browser. So let me send it now. I'm just sending it, and right now DLQ is empty. Okay, it has came here. Okay, first of all, tell me, should the error came two times? Okay, let this also be seen action. So it has came, error occur, it went to the on error continue, and from here it is send positive response back to the subscriber. So it is saying back, yes, error is consumed. See, no message came back again because it's sending 200 positive response, 200 status code to the subscriber that yes, or you can say ACK is sending back to the subscriber that message is consumed. So in this case, that letter queue is empty, and even normal queue is empty. See, no message in normal queue and no message in dead letter queue. Perfect. Okay, now if I, okay, one more time, let me add propagate here and delete it. Let me add logger, or even I can take this now and this publish message. Let me delete this and save. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'm just publishing the message on error queue. Okay, from on air propagate, I'm just publishing the message from in another queue, that is the error queue. So now tell me guys, what will be the response? What is the message count in normal queue, dead letter queue, and error queue? Normal queue, dead letter queue, and error queue. What is the count? Zero in normal and DLQ, 0 in normal and DLQ, and 1 in error. Okay, normal 0, DLQ 1. Okay, 0 normal. Okay, 1 in error. Okay, I haven't seen any correct answer as of now. No, no, I have seen that. Okay, okay, okay. So Joy, you are correct. Okay, okay, perfect. So let's see in action. There are multiple answers. So let's see in action. Let me send the message to the normal queue again. So what will happen this time? So we will encounter the error. Yes, we encounter the error. It will send to the error handler section. It will propagate the message. It will publish the message to the queue, error queue. It will publish the message. And once it's come back, it will send the negative acknowledgement to the main queue. Okay, the normal queue get nag, so it will check the readability attempt. So since that letter queue assigned, it will again publish the message. It will again come back to the flow. Again there will be error. It will go to the error propagate and publish that message to the error queue. So two times message is published to the error queue. Okay, it will again go back. Now it will check if there is readability attempt is exhausted. Yes, it is exhausted. So that message will be and since it is the error is propagated back, so that message will be sent to the dead letter queue. So that means one in dead letter queue and two messages in error queue. Let's see. So in error queue we can see four messages because earlier also I placed two messages, so that's why there are four. Otherwise there are two messages. Even we can check by browsing the message. Let's check that. Okay, three, and we require one more message. So here we can see, yeah, so this is the time 29. So today these two messages at the same time, 10, 13 and 18. So these two messages are there in the error queue, and in the dead letter queue we have one message. Let's check the dead letter queue as well. Yeah, one message in dead letter queue. Perfect. Okay, let's check one more scenario, and I hope everyone this time everyone should give me the correct answer. Okay, Let's try. Okay, let's go back to. Okay, now I'm just changing the on error propagate to on error continues. So let me bring back on error continue, and I'm just placing the messages flows back, and let's delete this. Let me save it. So what will happen now, guys? I think this time we have covered all the scenarios and we have understood how it's working, and everyone has clear in their mind. So this time everyone should have the same answer. Okay. So what will be there in normal queue? What is the count of message in normal queue, dead letter queue, and error queue? Just think normal 0, okay, DLQ 0, error 1. Perfect. Everyone is sending the same answer. So that this means that everyone has clear for how it is working, how it work. So everyone knows how it work. So that's a success for me as well, that you understand the concept clearly. So yes, that's correct. It will 0 in the normal queue, there 0 in DLQ, and 1 in error queue. Let's see in action as well. Okay, so let me uh yeah, okay, I need to send the message. So let me send the message. Okay, so it has came, we got the error, it went to the section, published the message to the error queue, but since it is going to send egg to the subscriber back, so that's it, it's ended here, and one message will be there in error queue. So if you see, yeah, one message in error queue. Perfect. So we are clear with this. Let me go back to my PPT once. So this is clear how DLQ work and all the concept before that. Start with ending point MQ. So we have seen how we can provide the configuration, how we can create different queues, how we can implement dead letter queue. We have understood how we can create client applications and why it is used to authenticate the anypoint uh, locations, so that you can use the queues which is created in particular location. And we have created set up those configuration into a mule application, and we have tested that, and that has once tested successful, that means now it is able to communicate to all the queues which are there in particular location. And when then we have created the application and we have tested that. Perfect. All good. Next, I'm just thinking to stop here. Okay, and I just thinking to take these two topics because these are again a very good topic to understand. Circuit breaker. Okay, why circuit breaker is used? Because till now we have understood all the concepts. Now the next thing that comes in this in endpoint MQ is that now if the messages are more multiple messages are there, or more so many messages are there, how we will ensure that message will not get lost? How, what is the retry mechanism we should use? What is the reprocess mechanism we will use? Okay, so I will definitely have a separate session to like demonstrate in action with demo, but right now I just tell you the how it work so that you have an idea. Okay, so circuit breaker, so like you have decided how to reprocess and retry. uh, uh, you are just thinking to reprocess and retry the messages so that it will send it to the completion. So there is a mechanism which the MuleSoft have provided with, and that is the circuit breaker. So how it work? It work in a way that once the message is received, okay, so it will work in three stages. So normally it is so like once it is closed, that means normal retrieval and the processing of the message based on the subscriber strategy. So normally it will receive the message and process the messages. Okay, so it will process the message and we encounter the error, that means error count. And we will maintain these parameters, what error counts, error threshold. And if you notice that error count has been reached to the error threshold, then that circuit will be open. Okay, that flow will be open for that particular duration of the time. So if that flow is open, that means that you will not gonna going to read further messages from the queue. So it will be open. How much time it, for how many time it will be open? It will remain open till trip timeout. So once the trip timeout is consumed, then it is again go back to the half open state. Now in the half open state, what will happen? It will again try to retrieve the single message from the queue which is there in particular location, and try to process that message. And if it got the success, then it will start consuming the other messages. But if it encounter failure, in that case it will again go back to the open state. Okay, so if that single message fail, it will again went to the open state. It will remain open another trip timeout. Once that's reached, then it will go back to the half open again, and again try to fetch one more message and try to check if it is success this time. If it is, then it will went to the closed state and normal processing of the queue will be happen. And this complete mechanism ensure that there is no loss of message. It will, there should not be any message lost in this process. Okay. Okay, so after that, yeah, Anypoint MQ also come with the REST APIs. So if you want to use Anypoint MQ, okay, for the non-mule application, okay, so we like mostly it can be used with for the non-mule application, because if we are mule application and we are using Anypoint MQ, definitely we're gonna use make use of Anypoint connector and the platform capabilities, right? But there may be scenario, there may be scenario where we want to use Anypoint MQ REST APIs. Yes, we can use it. There is no restriction in that case. You can use the Anypoint MQ REST APIs even if you have the license version. But if you are using non-mule application, you can definitely use the REST APIs to consume the Anypoint capabilities. And how you can do that? Okay, by using different APIs. Admin APIs are there, which will perform the admin activities. You have stats API, which through which you can understand different how many counts of request we have, how many APIs we are consumed, how many messages are there. So everything can be like statistics information can be available with the help of Anypoint stats API. Another, we have the broker API through which we can send the messages, receive the messages, consume the messages, delete the messages. Means all the operation that is done by the endpoint connector can be performed by this REST API. So all the endpoint platform capabilities and the operations which are done by the endpoint connector, those all together can be done with the help of Anypoint MQ REST APIs. So we can use of make use of these APIs and perform the task. So I think we don't have much time now. I don't want to take much of your time now. So maybe I can plan. We can plan for another demo for the circuit breaker, retry, reprocess mechanism, and Anypoint REST MQ REST API, so that whenever you require, you can use them. Okay, so yeah, that's all from my end for today. And I hope you have acquired those enough knowledge through which you can start your project with the Endpoint MQ the next very day. Like, okay, thank you everyone. Thank you, Surya. Over to you.
Thanks, Ankit. That's a very good presentation, and I
Surya, are
think,
you there?
yeah, Ankit, can you hear me?
Uh, Surya, are you there?
Ankit, can you hear me?
Okay. Surya, we can't hear you.
We can hear you both.
Okay.
So Ankit, I
Hmm.
think
I can't
you are
hear
not
them.
able to hear me. Okay. So I think like Ankit is not able to hear me. So I think it's a very informative session that Ankit gave us. So we will
Thank you,
definitely look
Dhanush.
forward to the next. Uh,
Thank you, Neeraj. No, Surya, I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Surya. Yeah, okay.
so
Okay.
now we will be having our
No
trivia.
worries. But yeah, over to you. But thank you everyone for your patience. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can you all see my screen?
I think
Can you
there's some
please
network
ping?
issue from my end, is it?
Yes. So now we will be having a trivia. So I have already wrote few names. Those names are Gopal Bhumi Reddy, Joydeep Paul,
Okay,
Neeraj
let me
Amli,
reconnect. I think there's some network
and
issue maybe. So I'm
Harsh
just
Kumar.
reconnecting back.
So I have already these four names. Now what I'm going to do is like this is the trivia that we had in the presentation. It is like I have taken few names from there. Now we'll be having our trivia questions. So whoever gives the first answer, I'll write their names here, and here we'll be picking our three lucky winners randomly. So there are total six questions. So let me start the trivia.
Okay.
So I can say that last message is from Debu. I'll consider answer after this.
Okay, Surya, I'm
So
back. I can hear you now. So yeah.
okay, thanks, Ankit. So now we are going to have a trivia quiz.
Mhm.
So this is our first question.
So
So
guys, please pay attention. Like if you have noticed, if you are listening carefully, definitely you are able to answer all these questions clearly.
yes,
Yeah.
so I explained like whoever gives the first correct answer, I'll write their names here, uh, and I have already noted few names from our in presentation trivia that you had. So we will be picking few random winners from there also. So people are already giving answers.
Right.
So our first question was why is Anypoint MQ not shown in Anypoint platform? So I think many
Yes,
people
most of
already
them
gave the
provided.
answer.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
So
most of them provided a correct answer. That's
I'll
great.
pick first. Devu was last. Yeah, Gopal Bhumi Reddy gave the correct answer. So Gopal name is already there. I'll consider next. Senthil Kumar. I'll consider Senthil Kumar.
Okay.
So Gopal, your name is already there. So don't worry. Senthil Kumar. Now moving to our next question. We all know answer. It was A. Now going to in which locations is Anypoint MQ available? So
Guys,
you can
just
get
think of the locations that are there in the location section where you have pick up the URL. Okay.
so
Yeah, multiple answers are there. Okay.
let me give some time. So now I'm
So
going to
D.
give the answer.
Mhm, mhm.
So answer is B, that is
Right.
North America. So
Right. So guys, UK is all definitely not there. So D option cannot be possible.
a minute,
UK
a minute.
location is not
So
mentioned at all.
Ankit, can you just keep a watch on this chat section?
Right, right. Yeah.
I think Devendra Bhagat gave the correct answer first. Yes.
Yes, Devendra is the first one. Yeah.
So I'll write Devendra's name. Devendra Bhagat. Yes. So now I can see last message from Neeraj. So Neeraj, don't worry, your name is already there. You have gave few correct answers during our in presentation trivia. Our next answer is B. Our next question is: can I share messages or queues between regions? So if there can be a queue that can be in multiple regions, can we have that or no? Yes or no?
Okay, I think we have to take Harsh Kumar. So guys,
A.
queues
There is
cannot be
no
in
AB in
like we
this.
cannot access. Yeah. So we have to consider Harsh who has provided no.
Yes. So Harsh is there. I think Harsh name is already there. Yeah. So Harsh's name is
Okay.
already there. So
So
let me
Anil
pick
Sahu.
Anil Sahu.
Anil Sahu. So you cannot access queues from multiple location, guys. Remember this.
Separator not needed, Neeraj. So don't worry. New line
So
is the
message cannot
separator.
be shared between region. Okay.
How many messages can I fetch using Anypoint MQ user interface? So whether it's 10 messages from standard queue or normal queue and 40 messages from FIFO queue. This is what like Ankit
Okay.
explained.
Right. Okay. So we can take Gopal names.
So
Uh, Gopal,
Gopal Bhumi Reddy.
Gopal Bhumi Reddy, right?
Okay.
Is name already there?
Yes, he's already, but that's fine. Like we can't
Okay.
have many names there.
Okay.
Otherwise, it will be.
Okay. Fine.
So we'll move
So
to our next
just want to
question.
1 minute, Surya. So just want to explain. So only for FIFO you can fetch 10 message at a time, right? So FIFO queue because ordering is very much important in FIFO queue, so you can fetch only 10 messages at a time. But standard queue you can fetch 50 messages by default. Okay. Yes,
We
please.
can see answer is C. C is 50 messages from standard queue and 10 messages from FIFO queue.
Perfect.
Next question is what is the default max size of Anypoint MQ message? I think this question was asked by many people.
Right.
Yeah,
So everyone's wording is correct answer. Let's take the
first one.
first name. First name Gopal Mumareddy.
Arre yaar, Gopal, you will get voucher.
No, I think
I'll remove
Neeraj.
your
Okay,
name from random picker and I'll give you voucher.
okay. Neeraj is also there, right? He has provided same answer. D. Neeraj.
D D D D D D D D. Yeah, so many D.
Yeah,
Neeraj
Neeraj.
Ambe is already there. Okay, now
Oh,
we'll
okay.
move to next. Only few people were paying attention. If I like.
No, no,
Next
no. So
question.
all I provided correct answer. Everyone has provided is correct answer.
Okay.
So that's good.
Anypoint MQ can be deployed on premises. True or false?
Perfect.
Don't
Perfect.
put A or B, put true or false.
Right. Everyone has provided same answer, but we have to pick the first one. So uh, first one is
False, 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 true,
mm,
false, false, true.
Santhil Kumar, right?
Senthil Kumar is there? Yeah.
Yes.
Senthil name is there.
Oh,
So
already there. Okay.
yeah. Let's move to next question. False. So can we use a retry strategy with Anypoint MQ connector? So this is what Ankit explained multiple times.
Hmm.
So do we have any answers?
We have multiple answers again.
Uh, true, true, true. 20 seconds. First is half a minute. True. Half a minute, half a minute, half a minute, half a minute. This one. True. Debu Singh. What's the answer? False.
False.
So F. Rajesh Bhawana.
Okay. Rajesh.
Rajesh Bhawana is our next. Rajesh Bhawana.
Somil is saying that he has already provided before Debu. Can we check that first?
I don't know. This is old true false, I guess.
Okay.
A minute, 2 minute. Okay. Somil Kansal is there. Sorry. Sorry, Somil. You put only T. I told to put true or false. So I think that's all. Oh, one more question is there. What is the maximum number of queues and exchanges in Anypoint MQ? A, B, C, or D?
So this question you have to answer by your own, guys, because I
Oh,
have I
you
haven't
you gave
told you.
this. You told this. A,
Okay,
B, A,
we have
B, A,
multiple
B,
questions.
C.
Oh, we D. Who has saying
Somil
D?
Kansal gave C. C, no C. B, B, A. Neeraj Amble is first. Harsh is a. Neeraj Amble and first. Neeraj Amble and Harsh gave the correct answer. There's no maximum number, I guess. Yes. You can
Yes,
have
yes,
multiple queues, multiple exchanges. There's no limit about
right.
that.
There's no limit.
Yeah. So
Okay.
networking we'll do later. Let's pick few names. So everyone can see these are our winners. I'll just pick a random name and Senthil Kumar.
Congrats, Senthil.
So notepad. I'll keep your name here. Okay, I'll remove this. I want Gopal and Joydeep to win because they were pretty active whole time.
And
Let's
we
see.
have the name
Harsh
Harsh.
Kumar.
Okay.
Harsh. Harsh.
Okay, this time Anil.
Anil Sahu.
Okay.
Okay. But since I told that I want Gopal to win, Gopal and Joydeep, they were pretty active full time. So Gopal and Joydeep, you can mail me also. I'll arrange a coupon for you also. That's not an issue.
Oh, that's great, isn't
Yeah.
it?
So since they are active, I don't want
Right,
them
right.
to be disheartened.
That's great.
So this is my mail ID. Please mail me. Don't put mail here. Just mail like
You
mail
can
me
just
on this
send
mail ID
send your,
and
yeah,
I'll
Gopal. You
arrange
can
that.
send your details to the email ID,
You just
and
mail
we
me.
will
I'll
confirm.
tell you what details I need, and
Right.
I'll arrange a coupon for you also.
Yeah.
So we have how many people now? Copy this and this. So we have total 5 people: Senthil, Harsh, Anil, Gopal, and Joydeep. So let's see. Just mail me and we can talk. And thanks, Ankit. I would like to thank you again since you were not able to listen me. So that's a great presentation we had.
Thank you,
Even
Surya.
I didn't know that much about Anypoint MQ, so I learned a lot from you. And yes, definitely, I am waiting for this circuit breaker thing.
Right.
So I think most of the participants are also waiting. So as soon as we'll publish a new meetup, we'll definitely send a mail. Yes, this session is getting recorded, so you will get a mail. Like I'll give you a link. You can watch it from there. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
That's
So
all for me. That's all we
yeah,
have
just
today.
so
Like
I want
we
to
have
thank
already
you
over
to,
2 hours. So thank
right,
you,
right.
everyone.
I
Thanks for
just
your
want to thank
participation.
everyone as well. So thank you for your patience, guys. So you have for your patience that you have provided, and I hope you will get some knowledge from this session, and definitely it will help you to get started with your project. So thank you, everyone.